Good Monday morning to you all. Hopefully you guys are doing okay, that you got your coffee or you're waking up and you're getting back on the horse. We got a Watchmen update here. We got a bunch of news items we need to talk about. Of course, continued fallout from the strikes against Russia yesterday. We got Alberta wildfires out of control, and they are threatening oil production from Canada, central Canada. We got soccer fans tearing apart Paris, which I know most people are like, I can't tell the difference when they tear it apart or when they didn't tear it apart. Huge locust emergence in the United States. We haven't talked about this one yet. 17-year cicadas coming out in several states, a whole bunch of states actually, across the East Coast. We got Iran being said to now have enough enriched uranium for 10 nuclear weapons. We're talking about that. We also have a solar storm hitting us and a major earthquake hitting Japan. That and a whole lot of Watchmen reports coming out as well. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and these are your updates that you guys are sending in from all over. If you have something to share with us, make sure you use the word update somewhere in your comment. That gets it to the right place. We do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They help make these updates possible. If you want to get some more information from them about how you can move out of stocks and bonds and move your retirement into something safer like gold, silver, or platinum, silver is looking really, really good, friends, these days. I know I'm a silver bug, but having your retirement in silver would be a pretty nice thing, in my personal opinion. If you want to find out more about that, Jonathan and his team can walk you through that, let you know what all the fees and everything like that, and see if it's a good fit for you and your retirement plans. There'll be a link at the end of the video to find out more. All right, Alberta wildfires, 29 of them, threatening oil production from the oil sand sites. So the oil sands, of course, is where Canada gets a whole lot of its oil from. Sand with oil in it, right? And then they process the sand to get the oil out of it. It's a lot messier than fracking, and it's a lot more expensive than fracking. So the price of that oil has a tendency to be higher because it costs more money to get it out. I'm surprised that they're still doing it right now, because I can't imagine that they're making much money off of it. But technology, they keep adapting and getting more efficient and all these type of things. Anyway, so 29 out of control wildfire. I think 28 of them are out of control, and then there's a whole bunch that have been contained that are all around the oil sands areas. So it's not to say that they're going to set the oil sands on fire or something like that. That sand is like underground, so it's not like it can really like catch fire. I don't know if some of the sites can catch fire, but like the whole patch of oil sands is not going to catch fire. Okay, but this is impacting transportation. This is impacting infrastructure, and a number of these sites are looking at shutting down. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of barrels of oil per day that are already looking at shutting down or have shut down already. And this is going to impact the United States. Of all the foreign oil that the United States brings into the U.S., 60% of it comes from Canada. So we got those pipelines coming from up north, and then we also have a few tankers that do kind of come around the coast to the United States. The United States has trouble processing the fracking oil because the refineries in the United States were not designed for the type of oil that comes out of fracking. So most of the fracking oil actually goes overseas to other countries' refineries, and we have to import the correct type of oil. We can use the oil sands oil. We can use Alaska's oil, and even some of the oil that's brought in from the Gulf, Gulf of America, right? That's what we're calling it now, right? The offshore offshore oil rigs. Those also can be used in the processing at American refineries, right? So we do import oil from other countries, but Canada, 60% of the oil that the United States imports from other countries comes from Canada. That could be impacted by these fires. So just giving you a heads up on that. Soccer fans in Paris decide that they're Philadelphia for a few days, and they have caused mayhem across the city, setting fires, lots of damage to personal property, 205 people injured, 294 arrested. I'm sure all those who are from other countries will be released immediately, but those who happen to be native born will probably languish and in jail. Major news there. We got a huge locust emergence in the United States is beginning. This is the 17-year cicadas. This is brood 14, stretching from New York State down to Georgia. This is across like eastern Pennsylvania, sort of. This whole big swath area is starting to see the cicadas coming out. Down in Tennessee, that they've already been kind of spotted, and in some places in Georgia, and in some places Virginia, they've spotted the cicadas coming out. Now, cicadas, remember, do not eat crops, they do not eat vegetables. They go after saplings and trees. They go to the undersides of trees and they cut little slits in them where they feed off of them. So they're going to go after trees, saplings. If you have fruit trees that are young, that are not going to survive well getting a whole bunch of their sap sucked out of them, you might need to protect your fruit trees, very young fruit trees particularly. That's one thing to be looking out there for, but this is going to be something that's going to scare a whole bunch of people out there. So we got this huge locust emergence coming out from Georgia all the way up to New York once again. Now, Iran has been said to now have enough nuclear material, uranium, refined weapons-grade uranium for 10 nuclear weapons. This is from the International Atomic Energy Agency. They are a very reliable international, never mind. Anyway, that's what they're saying. So this is something that's coming from a non-partisan, non-aligned state agency, okay? So they are saying this, and Israel is definitely not going to like that, that they now have 10 weapons worth of uranium. Israel's going to be very upset about that, and they could be striking them in the next several days here. A severe G4 solar storm hit North America yesterday, impacting radio, satellites. If you had any trouble yesterday, that's kind of what was going on there. We're still having some continuing effects hitting us today, so be aware of that too. It's not as bad as it gets, but it's noticeable. So if you're a ham radio operator, you already know that. If you are dealing with your cell phones and having trouble with that, that's kind of what's going on with that today. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake hit Japan's Hokkaido region just yesterday, and that's a pretty strong earthquake. It's not a devastating earthquake, but definitely noticeable. We do not see reports of casualties or building collapses or anything like that, but it was noticeable over there. Pop-Tartdom says a Safeway in Silver Spring, Maryland, has replaced several whole aisles with non-edibles in the last few months. A massive change given the small size of the store. Jesus and Coffee reports North Central Indiana went to Kroger Friday evening, graduation night for many. Several who were there were only buying balloons and flowers. When I got to the back of the store, there's usually a big crowd, but I only saw one person. Self-checkout is usually backed up to the pharmacy, but not this time. Only 2 lanes open with cashiers and only 2 people in line in front of me, and one of them was nearly done. Sure is different. People just not having the money to spend on a lot of stuff these days. That is having an impact out there for sure. Mojo says immigration. A friend of mine's wife is from Honduras. Even being married to an American citizen took her 14 years to gain her citizenship, which just happened last year. Yeah, the visas for spouses it takes like 2 years now. That's what they're saying. As one person put it, what takes a bureaucrat about 30 minutes of time to process now takes a total of, if a bureaucrat were to like sit down and just process the whole thing start to finish, it'd take about 30 minutes to do. But they've split it out over multiple years, lots of waiting time. You submit something and then it goes to the top, the bottom of the stack and slowly works its way up. And when it finally gets to the top, then you have to go to the next pile, and just the process of waiting starts all over again. And that's for legal immigrants. And then you have employment visas, the same kind of thing. Unless you can pay a lot of money to get all the way to the front of the stack, which is not supposed to happen, but you know that if somebody has a senator or a congressperson in their pocket, they can kind of make things happen a little faster. Lola says, from North Central North Carolina, got an email from Wild Fork. Due to cost increases, they can no longer serve the region of North Carolina. Last order is happening before 5 p.m. Sunday. Azure Standard is still operating in North Carolina, though. So you might want to check into that. They don't deal quite in the same stuff, but, some of the stuff. Kimberly says, I live in Oregon, a state that is soft on crime, and I witness so much shoplifting at the grocery stores that makes me sick since it's shut down so many businesses. Sometimes I report it when I see it, but when I do, the staff usually says one of two things to me. They either tell me there is nothing that they can do about it, or they tell me that they will let somebody know. But they give me the feeling that they are in no hurry, which gives the thieves plenty of time to escape. However, yesterday when I was at Walmart, I noticed a large man by the door who worked for Walmart. He was escorting two young female shoplifters out the door, and he was totally on their bumper, shaming them and embarrassing them and threatening them and scolding them the whole way out the door and letting them know that they are not allowed in the store. I love seeing this man do his job because that is the only way the youth will learn their crime hurts them as well as does have consequences. Madam K says, dog and cat food. Our local veterans meeting on Wednesday evening, they were all talking about their dogs having tumors and cancer. I asked, are you feeding your pets dry dog food? Everyone said yes. And I said that the food you're feeding your animals, it's the food you're feeding your animals. Anyone who feeds dry foods to their pets ends up full of tumors. For years I've been hearing this. I feed my dog Tia chicken thighs, beef, and fresh vegetables. She eats what I eat. You have to protect your pets from the chemical poison that they're selling you, just like yourself. I don't know. What do you guys have to say about that? Is she right? Let me know down in the comments down below. Are you seeing the same kind of thing? Is dry dog food the devil? Let me know. Smiling Grandma says, my dad broke his hip and is at an assisted living rehab facility. The diet that they feed them is super high in carbs and sugars. My dad was exposed to Agent Orange in Vietnam. It caused uncontrollable high blood pressure, which destroyed his kidneys as well as neurological problems. A doctor from the assisted living read his chart and looked at him, ordered a A1C test randomly, framed him as a type 2 diabetic, and put him on medication without telling us. My dad just happened to have his physical the prior month. His numbers were good. He is no longer at that facility and no longer on medication for diabetes. His A1C is fine. You have to pay attention and be an advocate for yourself these days and those you care for. Certainly, sure. Anyone who putting you on medication, there should be lots of questions, and you should fully understand the medication, the risks, and what they're treating for. And options, other options. Always ask for other options. Sweet and Spicy One says, a FedEx important letter was supposed to be delivered to me today, and it never showed up. The tracking info said that they attempted delivery, which they didn't, and the business was closed because of a holiday. The online update tracking info said that the signature was not required. But today is not a holiday. That was last weekend. The person sending it said it's for a resident, not a business, and they said the signature is required. I looked for the number to call FedEx after the chat bot couldn't help me, and the FedEx chat bot on the phone would not give me a live human to talk to, only another robot chat bot. I told the person sending it maybe it got hijacked or robbed, or it's in a driverless truck and is just confused. Maybe that's what happened to it. Help Cooked says hubby mailed outgrown T-shirts from Florida to Florida from Virginia. We tracked the U.S. Postal Service for 3 weeks. The small package of T-shirts went from Virginia to Florida, which is good, but then not to the destination in Florida. Then it went tracked going to Puerto Rico and then back to Florida, where it finally reached the Florida final address. 3 weeks. It was shipped to U.S. Postal Service ground, and it ended up on a ship heading to Puerto Rico. Should never have left the 48 mainland. Mona says, watch the best buy dates on items before you purchase them. So many new hires and so much turnover at the grocery stores, stockers, and especially in grocery, that they are not rotating the stock, just putting new stock in the front, and when that is gone, you get old or expired stuff left on the shelves. Bella says, Central Kentucky, I put my monthly order into Walmart, and then I go through my options for things that will be unavailable, changes and substitutions. Of course, the things that they recommend your items are unavailable are way more expensive than the ones you've chosen. My hubby and I have figured out where our local distribution Walmart center is, and we have 2 within a 2.5 hour drive from our house. The further people are away from the center, the longer it takes for them to restock those items. It's a hard thing to remember to go back through your order and do your substitutions. I always personally turn off all my substitutions. I'm like, if I don't get it, I'll just go to the store and get it. So I just go to the store and pick up whatever is missing, but that's me. Anyway, we honestly have not had any issues with food or getting items. In our community, we have the Kroger and Aldi. Kroger's has a dairy about 30 minutes away, and one of their main distribution centers is about an hour away. Friends, just be thinking about where your distribution centers are, because the closer they are, the easier things are going to be for you, and the further away they are, the harder things are going to be. So that's why you may be seeing better options at one store over another. It's just their distribution centers are closer. Check to see where or how far you are from your distribution centers. Then check with the store manager to see what days they get trucks. Ask for specific trucks carrying specific things you need. So ask them when the milk gets delivered. Ask them where different products that you're looking for, and ask them what days those get delivered. That'll give you a leg up. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining with us. If you want to get some more information from Genesis Gold about what you can do with your retirement account, there's a link right there on the screen. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up there. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report out.